What's up, Lowlifes? Welcome to the music episode of the Lowlife podcast.
How was that?
Was that Macho Man?
I was trying to do like a hardcore singer.
Oh, yeah, no.
Welcome to...
I guess that was more Macho Man.
Yeah, that sounded like a Macho Man impression to me.
I have to yell louder.
Yeah. What's up, you fucking pussies? That's more.
I don't want to like peak too bad, but
What's up, you fucking pussies?
I still sound like a wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to take the rasp out. Just all you're doing is yelling. It doesn't have to be the talking in between songs. When stagemen continue their voice, other than in like death metal, because that's just part of the thing. But if you have a guy who like sings on songs like real and he's talking like that in between songs, everybody's like, gay. Just talk normal, bro. We can't understand you. So yeah, usually in between songs it's more just what's up, you fucking pussies? I want to see fucking people get hurt, and it's
Well, welcome to the fucking music episode. We've been talking about this. We were supposed to do this last week, but then we got carried away with our own fucking bullshit. But this week we're going to be talking about our fucking playlist, and it's your boy Ryno. All right, I'm joined with the Big Hurt, aka, or as they say in Latin America, El Dano. I don't know if it's pronounced that way, but if you habla Espanol, you know.
Yeah.
Big Hurt.
It's like calling the biggest guy in the room tiny.
I just learned that fact today, and I love it. And boy, this is an odd day for us to be recording. It's a Saturday. The Saturday our show is supposed to happen.
Yeah, we had a little day date though.
Little day date. We went on a day date.
Fucking good day.
That was fun.
That was.
It
Fun.
was it was an early day, dude.
Yeah, we started out this morning. So the original intention was, in lieu of doing our show, obviously, we were going to join up with the La Espada Chopper Club and their crew and head up. They're going up doing their camp out. So we were going to head up, follow them up, and just hang out with them for the day. But I've got some stuff going on at home, so we stayed local. So we went down there and saw them off this morning. I just posted a video on our story of them all pulling out. So it was cool to see all those dudes. And then after that, we were like, fuck it, what do we do now? So we came back up to Manch, met up with old Fish Tank, and got a tour of the new Manchester Harley-Davidson, which was awesome. It was ironic and a little bittersweet to be there today when it was supposed to have been the show. But it was really cool to go see that place. I'm sure we'll talk more about that. And then we had a little lunch.
Someone did show up for the show with no idea that the show was canceled. My Uncle Rick.
Luckily, it was your uncle. So it was, it wasn't too hard to be like, oh, sorry. At least it wasn't somebody coming from far away with a bike and a trailer and all that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess you don't listen to the show, Uncle Dick.
Yeah. Thank you guys for paying attention.
The timing was perfect, though, because we showed up there right at noon.
Yep.
And I got a phone call, and he's like, what's going on? The show sucks.
Yeah, I heard you say, oh, shit, I didn't know you weren't tuned in. I knew immediately that somebody for the show showed up, and I was like, oh, fuck, who was it? I figured it was, like, one of our homies coming from far away or something.
Yeah. You listen to the show, Uncle Rick, so you won't hear me say, fuck you, Uncle Rick.
It'd be funny if you
sign up for Patreon. Support your family.
Yeah.
No, he's cool. He was, back in the day, he was the cool uncle, and he lived in a trailer park, and he had a fucking sport bike. And I was like, dude, a wee lad. Baby, dude. 2 years old. And it put me, and this is, I don't know if this talks to how reckless he was or what shitty parents I had, but he used to pop us on his lap and pop wheelies through the trailer park, dude.
Damn, that's badass.
So I guess I was a tank baby of sorts.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
That's sick. He seems like a super rad dude.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah. He drinks bourbon. He tools on me a lot. He's like a truck driver, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were always super tight. And yeah, he's into bikes. He has a pretty cool bike. I mean, I would definitely ride it.
Yeah, for sure. What was that, Heritage, right? Something like that?
Heritage, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those. He's got the spokes on it and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Boomered out. He got the thick spokes and the white walls and shit.
Oh yeah, the white
all the
walls.
little chrome bits.
Yeah.
He asked me about chroming today. I was like, talking to the wrong guy.
No shit.
We don't chrome shit around here.
Nope. Speaking of which,
I'm already priced. I don't know how much chrome costs, but I know it's more than I have to spend.
Yeah, for sure. If you're around here and you know of some pretty affordable chroming, let us know, because the stuff that I'm aware of is certainly not affordable. And
Yeah.
that brings me to a quick shout out to old Bougie Billy there. He's been hitting me up the last couple of days. He is working on his bike as well, and he's got that dope ass Gushers Cycle Springer on it, and it's raw. So he went and his local shop gave him a tip. He sent it to some old boy down the street to polish that shit up, and they ceramic coated it or whatever, and now he's in the process of completely rebuilding his Springer in parts, and he's going through ratchet straps left and right. So hopefully by the time this comes out, he will have figured it out. But
yeah, dude, that thing's gonna be so. He gave me a little sneak peek, and I'm not gonna ruin it for him because this thing is gonna be sick. But it is. If you close your eyes and you just imagine what a Florida man's chopper would look like, this is what it's going to look like, what his bike is.
Yeah, that's exactly
with
what
the
we're
colors and the flare and all that fucking shit. It's going to be so cool.
Dude, that green pearl is literally called Daytona Beach. That's the name.
Oh, no shit.
I was like, I have to. I don't even care what color it is.
Dude, and that came out so good, too. I was actually over there today, and I got to see, you show paint jobs on a phone, and you can't, the colors are never right, and you're kind of like, everybody says the same thing. It's like, oh, you just got to see it out in the sun. You wheeled it out into the sun, and I got to see, and that fucking flamingo is so dope, dude.
I'm excited about
it's
this.
magic.
Yeah, it's that pearl is really, really cool, man.
It goes from the pinkest pink, like magenta pink, to like green, depending on, but it's pink where you need it to be pink. Like if you're staring down at the tank, it's weird that it didn't. Like I don't understand how that shit works.
Yeah.
But how can it all be pink when you look at it like straight down on the tank?
Yeah, I think there's I think when you get the flop pearls, I could be totally wrong here, but I think just from what I've used, there's like a primary color, right? So like you spray it down and that's like, so this one is like a pink with a green flop rather than a green pearl with a pink flop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of something along those lines where directly on you're going to see like what the primary color is, and then in different angles is when you're going to see the flop color. I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but that's how it seems with the ones that I've used. I don't really fuck with the chameleon stuff because I feel like when you do like a whole tank in it or something, it just kind of ends up, I don't know, it's not necessarily my thing. It looks like the vinyl wrap kind of deal, and the whole chameleon thing is my thing. But these little accents, for anybody wondering, if you saw the original iteration, I had the bubbles on there. The bubbles are the ones they're the pearl I use changes colors. So this time, rather than doing the pink in the dark pink pearl, I just did the chameleon pearl that I used for the bubbles on the flamingo, and it looks so sick. So once I get a little bit more done to it and get it a little more flat and presentable, I'll post some pictures.
Yeah, dude. It's looking good, dude. And I can't wait to see that bike together. I mean, the fucking flare that Billy's putting on this shit is fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, he was saying the other day, he's like, listen, like, I'm not a big, put your bike in shows kind of guy. He's like, dude, with the paint and with all the other parts and stuff, like, I'm in the shows. And I was like, dude, you're crazy if you don't. Like, I'm not saying that he's, I'm not saying that, my paint's making it anything or whatever, but just the parts that he's putting on there, and he's doing all the right shit. It's going to be one of the coolest Sportsters.
It's going to be the Florida State bike. You know how they have like a Florida State bird and a fucking Florida State fish? They're just going to be like, this is the Florida State bike. There's nothing more Florida than this bike.
For sure.
And he's a proud Floridian, by the way, too.
Very.
Yep. And he got the southern accent, so he ain't from one of them hoity-toity areas, you know what I mean? He was brought up right.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Shout out, Billy.
I hope to see him this summer.
Eric, whatever your fucking name is.
I know we call him Bushy Billy. But
that's what his Instagram name is. I just assume his name was Billy. But no,
I just call him Billy.
Yeah, same. I think he's gotten used to it by now.
Yeah. That's more of a good old boy name, Billy.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Billy, get your chopper in here.
Hell Hell yeah. I can't wait to see that bike done. It's going to be really cool. He's doing all the right stuff to it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, just back to going to the Harley. This fucking place is nuts. It's the nicest Harley dealership I've ever been in, hands down. It's brand new.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge, and it's fucking like, I don't know. It looks nice. It looks like really nice.
Really state of the art. I've been in the Dubai Harley Davidson and the Abu Dhabi Harley Davidson, and the Manchester one is nicer.
Yeah, they got those fucking doors that, like, dude, they just whip open.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Yep.
Futuristic.
Really, really cool to go in there too. We met up with Fish, and he gave us like the employees tour. He showed us all the back areas and stuff, and it was really cool. When we walked in, we came in through like the service entrance around back.
Like Goodfellas, dude.
Yeah, it was like Goodfellas.
We walked through the kitchen and shit.
Yeah. So he's taking us out back, and for those of you that aren't around here that might not know, the building that they are now occupying used to be a movie theater. And when, back in high school days and shit, we used to go to that movie theater. So walking through it, we're just walking through like the back area, and he's like, that's service, this is overflow, this is blah, blah, blah. And he pointed out that these little doors that we were going through were the theaters. And it all kind of clicked, and I could see down the hallway like all the old colors and the old carpeting and shit, and was like, wow, that's really fucking cool. So yeah, it's sick. It's crazy state of the art, really nice, really well organized. That parking lot's crazy big. So when we can let loose and do a show there, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah, we talked about it. We're just we're gonna come up with a good date. Honestly, today was not the day to have a motorcycle show. It is 50 degrees, raining. I mean, sun popped out a couple of times, but dude, it's been unseasonably fucking cold.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think the stars aligned. It's definitely unfortunate, and I woke up pretty bummed this morning that, like, knowing especially any of you that have put on a show before, that morning when you wake up to put on, like, to do your own show, like, I get really excited and have trouble sleeping, like, the night before La Spada. And I definitely won't sleep the night before, like, Party at the Pen or any of that shit, because I get so fucking excited. But for your own show, it's not excited. It's excited and scared and nervous, and what if no one shows up? It's like a totally different feeling. So waking up this morning and being like, oh, yeah. Like, it's cool I'm still going to hang out with Ryno and see La Spada and whatever else, but, like, it could have been that feeling. Kind of was like, man. But, yeah, after being out and about today, the stars aligned. It ended up working out. It'll be better when we do it.
Yeah, hopefully my bike's done by then.
Fuck.
I would have had to fucking pull some serious OT to get that bike done.
Yeah.
I'm in the end stretch, though. I mean, not everything's going in together nicely, though. I got all the tins and stuff on, but I was talking to you earlier today, like, Petcock ain't jiving with me. Like, a lot of the bolts and stuff, like, I don't know, maybe it got, since it's so cold, like, the metal shrunk or something, but they're not going in easy as I had designed it originally.
Yeah, that's strange with the Petcock thing, especially. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have the tap for that, so if maybe you want me to run up with the tap and run that NPT tap through it, and that'll tell you if it's the right thing.
That actually would be, I wish I would have thought of that when I was at your place, dude, because I was thinking, I was like, I don't have an NPT tap.
Yeah,
but that's the first thing I would have done.
1/4 inch or 1/8 inch?
1/4 inch.
I'll have to see. I might have one in the service truck. If I have one, I'll run it up to you for sure.
Yeah.
At some point this weekend.
That's a good idea. Because who knows what the fuck is in that tank, you know? I had it plugged when I was painting it. But this isn't like, it's not tough, like, going through paint tough. This is like, it's stripping shit. Like, there's little slivers of metal. And they're both supposed to be 1/4 inch NPT, which is standard, so.
You could also, especially in the meantime, you could just run to your local getting spot and get a 1/4 inch NPT plug, like the cast iron.
Oh, yeah, and just chase it in there.
If you fuck up the threads on that, then, who cares? But it's 1/4 inch NPT. You can run that through and kind of use that as a tap. You know what I mean?
I did do that. I had a brass piece, 1/4 inch and I ran it through there. It seemed to be a little bit easier. It got a little bit further in before it got really hard.
Huh.
But yeah, something's fucked up. Something's off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
too bad
as long
we
as
didn't
it's,
have this conversation
I might just
when you
put some
were here.
fucking thread tight, some of that thread tape on that shit. Even if I can only get it like 2 turns in, as long as gas isn't coming, I don't give a
I was
fuck.
going to say, as long as you have a seal and you have at least a couple threads,
Yeah,
it is what it is. As long as you don't, like, the only worry I would have is if it's kind of out in the open, like they usually are in a wassail tank, if you accidentally, like, put some weight on it or whatever, you could snap the thing off. But are you using a steel one or a brass one?
it's a steel one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would worry less about that. Yeah, as long as you can get it in there so it's watertight, who gives a shit?
And if I can't, if it's a problem, I can always just put an inline petcock for now. You know,
It's true, yeah.
I want to get a new petcock anyways. I thought I got the one with the little screen, but I just got the regular one.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're sold out or something. But the ones with the screen, those are always work for me. Just the 90-degree screens inside the tank. You don't have to fucking have an inline thing. You know, that just has always been bulletproof. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't clean out the tank or anything yet either. So it might just be, who knows, manufacturing bullshit like in there.
Yeah. And blow some air into that bung and see if there's some schmoo in there or something.
The paint was just so fresh when I put it on. I was like, I don't want to fucking peel this paint up.
Yeah.
Jamming shit in there.
Yeah.
I was being ultra careful. But the paint is done,
You're done, man.
and I do have a confession to make.
Okay.
I'm not proud of it.
I hate that.
I could not get the clear coat to go on smooth. So I got Spray Max 2K,
Yeah.
and I fucking laid it on there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
No,
Don't be
it's
disappointing me. I don't know if what I'm doing wrong, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get the clear coat to lay heavy. It was like, it was worse. Like the paint, I could get to go on heavy, but the clear coat, I could not get going down heavy. No matter what I did, what adjustments I made to the gun, like, and I just followed the instructions on like the activator and all that stuff. So it should have been. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is. So I said, you know what? Fuck this. Spray Max, 2 cans of 2K clear. Next day delivery. Amazon, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that shit piles on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a fire hose. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's catalyzed clear. So that's what makes it 2K. So you're using the shit you're using in your gun is catalyzed clear, activated clear. So same shit.
Them shits are like fucking $25 a can. And the can's not even all the way full either, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's an activator in it. It's kind of
So-
a fucking
Ounce for ounce,
scam,
it's
but-
so much more expensive to get it in a can.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you're paying for the convenience, and you know,
Yeah.
If you're in,
You know, I've just been fucking with this
you're-
thing forever, and I wanted to. My plan was get it done, get the paint done, and cured by Friday.
Yeah.
Because on Friday I was going to just jam out and get the rest of the. I was going to bolt it up and get all the oil in there and fucking start her up. You know, fuck around with timing and all that shit. But I didn't even get an opportunity to do that because on Friday, I got twin boys that got fucking whacked sick.
Ugh.
And then I was just like, dude, sickest I've ever seen. One of the kids was just like the sickest he's ever been.
Fucking brutal.
And he like, there's no medicine or anything that would fucking help him. So it's just like, he was having like breathing problems and shit. So I was like, I can't like, hey, good luck, buddy. Take a nap. I'm going to go out and work on my bike.
Just stay here on the couch. I'll be back later.
Yeah. So just kind of that sucked. But I did get it all together, except for I have to fuck with the ignition because something's up with that ignition. I can't when I overclock it. You know, like with the 2KI, you just turn it until it lights up and then you back it off. But those posts don't line up for some reason. Something up somewhere. So I got to figure that out. I just didn't have time to actually troubleshoot. I just like popped it in there real quick to try to do it. So I just need a little bit of time. So hopefully this weekend. I'm hoping we got a long weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So I can fucking get some garage time and get a couple of things figured out and then actually start it up.
Yep.
But I was also waiting on the throttle, which came today, actually. It's in the mailbox right now. Because I cheaped out and I got a plastic one. Don't do that.
Always gonna bite you.
Who are people doing that? They don't work.
I know people that have them and they work and they make it run and whatever, but it's like, I've used them. They're shitty. They're cheap. They break.
It does not feel right.
Yeah.
Even when I first installed it. But then the thing starts binding up, like when you get the fucking grip on there and shit. It's just a plastic tube.
Right. Yeah, and the grips.
So I was like, dude, I'm not fucking with this all summer, you know?
Yeah.
So
Now,
fuck that. I ordered a fucking TC Bros one, which I've had luck with in the past. So
Yeah. Yeah, those are.
that was
metal.
$100 I did not want to spend.
Yeah, dude. I'm eyeing up one of those prism lights, and I need to pull the trigger on it because I want to have it on Boot Boy before we go out to Ohio, but it's fucking $190, dude. Like,
That's a lot of money, dude.
fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I can, even if I were to affirm that. I think I have too many affirms out. They'd probably be like, no, man, you need to pay some of this shit off first.
Dude,
So,
yeah, they're
I
like,
don't know.
here's a number to our financial counselor.
Yeah, for real. You have a gambling problem at this point.
I've never used a firm before.
Oh, dude.
It's weird to me. It's kind of like layaway sort of shit. Only they give it to you They give it to you up front.
Exactly. They give it to you up front. It's interest free. Yeah, you get to pick your installments too. Like you want to pay $100.
How do they make money?
They have to be charging the websites to use their service. They have to. Because all of my shit is always interest free if you pay it off in a year or whatever, and I always am paying it off in a year every single time. So I don't pay any interest to a firm to use their service. So they must, like Lowbrow must pay a firm for that to be a payment option. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like because you'll get more sales that way.
For
and
sure.
You know that they're fucking
like us.
their patrons don't have good credit.
Yeah, like for sure. I mean, think about their clientele, especially. Like they're making parts for people who build their shit in their garage, and people who are building their shit for Born Free also use Lowbrow. So it's like everybody, all of their clientele, is how can I get these parts the cheapest way possible, or the the most flexible way possible. So the fact that you can get a $500 order and be paying $60 a month for the next 6 months or whatever makes that $500 a lot more palatable.
Yeah.
So it's the only way I can build bikes, straight up. I don't ever have nearly enough money to like just go.
I don't ever have $500 cash that I can just
No way.
spend on motorcycle parts. No.
Nope. Absolutely not. So if not for any of that shit, Klarna and Affirm and whatever, I wouldn't have any of this shit. I'd use it on Dennis Kirk. I use it on JP Cycles. Literally everywhere that I'm getting parts from. Throttle Addiction has it. Like TC, I believe, has it. All of them. So that's the way I do it.
I just realized I couldn't say. I said patron.
Yeah, patron.
Patron, yeah. But I have been drinking Modelo since 9 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah, you had a fucking gallon at lunch. I was like, you want
that was a big beer.
big one? And you're like, yeah, give me a big one. This dude comes up with like, you guys know the huge tall boys of like the Arizona green teas? 3 of those.
Well, usually the tall ones, they have the 16 ounce and then they have like this 22 ounce. It's like a thin, long.
Yeah.
That's usually what they do. This fucking place had a big gulp, dude. It was like 64 ounces.
That was a lot of beer.
It was a lot. I did finish it though.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I think my dog just
Yeah,
attacked
and that
something.
fucking lunch was fucking bomb. Mexican
dude.
food,
Birria, man.
dude. Yeah.
I got the quesadilla. You got the nachos.
I'd eat Mexican food every day for every meal. Like
Absolutely.
their breakfast is awesome, you know.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
fucking huevos, motherfucking
rancheros. Oh,
dude, so good. Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to eat more of that later.
I love the atmosphere too. Mexican restaurants are fun. You know, they got the music. It's kind of like when you watch a foreign film and you're like, you put your pinky up. You know, you're like well cultured.
Yeah. as you ask for the pollo or the polo loco.
Give me the Polo Loco and a fucking big gulp
Yeah.
full of Modelo.
Yep. Yeah, they even bartender whipped me up a couple of virgin or just I guess tequila less margaritas for my wife who's at home. That was pretty fucking cool. I love that place, man. That's the best Mexican around for sure.
Yeah, that was cool to hook it up. He even gave you the fucking coconut fucking
The shavings
for the rim or some shit.
Yep. Fucking super legit. I love that place.
Yeah, dude. All right, we gotta get into. I got a couple of shout outs real quick.
Do it up.
Shout out to the Malort hookup, Swiss Cheeks. He heard that we're running a little bit low on the official drink of the Lowlife podcast, Jepsum's Malort, and homie sent a fucking bottle with the 6-pack of the nips. And 2 big old fucking gorilla fingers, dude.
Yeah,
2
buddy.
big cigars, which we will enjoy.
Definitely.
So thank you, Swiss Cheeks. And we're going to have him on the show because he is an OG New England dude. He lives down in, PA now? But he lived in New Hampshire. He lived in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
He's been around New England.
I would be shocked if most of you listening don't already follow him on Instagram and stuff. He's absolutely hysterical. He's super big into music. He's been in a bunch of big bands.
That's true, too, yeah.
He's like really involved with like the Mama Tried stuff and all. Like he's very involved. He's part of the Pulse. So if you don't follow him already, go give him a follow. Swiss Cheeks, SWIS Cheeks, I believe. Dan Swislowski, I believe, is how you say his last name. But that dude holds a special place in my heart because I've never actually met this dude in person. But when I first started No Luck and was doing like rolling trays and stuff, he's been one of my biggest supporters the entire time. He's hit me up for several different things. I painted a rolling tray for him, and he wanted it like very specifically New Hampshire, so I did. It was an old drawing that I had done for my old band, Live Free or Die. But I put that on there and some green and some shit. So he's an old school supporter. Can't say enough good things about that dude. So it's awesome that this is all coming full circle, and we're gonna have him on. And I really appreciate that he knows that I don't drink and sent some stogies up. So I really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. So thank you, dude, for your continued support. You are the shit.
Yeah. Dan was drinking today, though.
That's
He's
right.
off the wagon, guys.
Yep, I had a Modelo at Harley. Yeah, and I felt it, too. Straight
He's
up.
all over the road.
Yeah, fucking. I could feel it, for sure. But, yeah, when we got to the Mexican place, I was like, I wanted to get a drink, but I was like, nah. If I do that, that's going to send the course of this day into an entirely different direction.
Oh yeah,
Meaning
I was this close to getting a margarita.
Dude, if I had gotten a margarita, it would have been fun for like an hour, and then I would have been like, all right, I got to go take a nap.
Yeah, well, me and you would be spooning on the couch in your garage right now.
For sure.
If we had a couple of margaritas there.
Yeah, dude.
We would have walked back to your house.
Yeah. Yep. You'd be having a sleep apnea nap right now.
Do you got that shit too?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, thank God.
Oh, dude, I got a fucking appointment for that shit in July.
Oh, shit.
I booked it like 6 months ago.
You're going to forget.
I was like, what's the next available time you guys have for me to come in for a consultation? They're like 6 months from now. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
That's crazy.
Imagine being so busy that you're booking out 6 months.
Yeah.
Just to talk to a motherfucker, dude.
That's a good problem to have nowadays. If your business is that booked out, good for you. Fuck you for being part of the big pharma industry, but it must be nice to be busy.
Yeah. So, They'll probably recommend that I wear CPAP, and I won't do it, and I'm just gonna die in my sleep one night. But who gives a fuck?
Like a
'Cause-
man.
Yeah, dude. Die like a man, quietly in your sleep.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's in the middle of a good dream. I don't have good dreams. I just have nightmares.
I don't really dream anymore. I think that's the weed, but when I
You don't dream
take-
at all? No.
When I take a break from smoking, like I've gone 4 or 5 days or whatever, trying to do a tolerance break and then not making it. But those 4 or 5 days, I have some real fucking gnarly dreams, real gnarly. But yeah, when I smoke, I don't have any dreams.
Damn.
I don't
Dude.
remember them anyways.
Yeah, I wish I didn't dream. They're all nightmares, petrified all night long.
Yeah,
I wake up from them.
Ugh.
Yeah, bad ones.
Mm-mm.
And even in the morning, I'm like, I can't distinguish whether or not it's real or not for a little while. You know, like I eventually realized I was like, oh, that was just a dream. You know,
You gotta start taking gummies at night.
I would never wake up.
Yeah, you would. You'd wake up in a great mood because you wouldn't be fucking hungover.
Yeah, I'm kind of accustomed to that though.
But dude, when's the last time you woke up completely completely unencumbered by the errors of your ways the night before?
It's been a while.
Yeah. That doesn't happen with weed, dog. It's great. You know that.
Hey,
That's
dude,
so
I love
hangover.
weed more than I love booze. The only reason I don't really smoke that much is because I don't have the personality type for it. I'm already like when people get like they smoke weed and they're all like paranoid and shy and shit. That's me all the time. That's why I drink.
Yeah.
I drink because it's the opposite. It makes me talkative. It makes me, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I love weed though. I love smoking weed, and I've had, you know, I do smoke on occasion, but I'm already drinking usually.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And I tried to make the switch, like a conscious switch. Like I was like, all right, I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to smoke. And then I'm like getting all paranoid and fucked up and shit. And I'm like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's just my brain is not wired that way. There's like, you know, I have a drinker's brain. If I have
Yeah.
a cocktail, well, I don't even drink cocktail. I'll just drink shit straight up. But I have one of those. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm chill. It's kind of like the same effect that you get when you smoke a joint, you know?
Right.
Just relaxing, just chilling.
For sure. It definitely shuts me down socially a little bit. Like especially if I get like high when I'm out and about at a show or whatever, it definitely I clam up a lot more than usual. But there is like you say with drinking and stuff, there's a fine line, and I'm getting closer to being able to stay there and do my
Yeah.
gym lately and stay exactly at the right level. But yeah, that's great. When I get to that level in public, it's like a truth serum, dude. It turns me into like who I want to be. I can talk to people and I can talk to strangers and introduce myself and not have like they're not gonna want to talk to me. Who the fuck am I? Like, you know, all that shit goes away. But then if I go too
Yeah.
far, it gets even worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm finding the limit.
That's a good point, too. Is it like I do that with drinking is like I don't ever get, except for the Big Truth podcast that we did, I don't ever get that bad,
Right.
you know, where I'm starting to get annoying and fucking too loud or rowdy or angry, you know. I get to the point where, like, I've trained myself to get to the point to stay in that good, that green zone, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Gotta find the
But-
pocket.
I love weed. I love the way it smells. I love that it was illegal for so long, you know, because I like breaking the law. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
it's cool
I
to
do it.
like do that.
I got into it after it had been legalized in Massachusetts, so I didn't even have any. I don't have any good like, you know, weed stories or anything from like high school.
Oh yeah, that's all I did in high school is smoke weed. I smoked weed. I was like a fucking for a long time. That was like my thing. You know, I was like the first kid in my class to smoke weed too. Like
Yeah.
I got into it young. Like I remember buying a bag in 6th grade.
No,
Type of shit. Yeah.
damn. Yeah, dude. I feel
But then
like
I got
missed-
off it when I discovered drinking, in my like early high school career, I was like, oh, this is way better. I like this more.
I feel like I missed out on all that stuff. I've never smoked out of an apple or a fucking can of Pepsi or any of that shit.
Oh
I've
yeah,
never
dude.
done the gravity bong out of a water bottle thing. Like I'm like a self-taught smoker, and it's actually kind of funny. I'll go into a dispensary or whatever, and I'll like ask them like, how do you use this piece of equipment that you sell for $500? Like,
Oh, dude.
what's going on here?
Shit is nuts now, dude. Like back in the day, that it was like, all right, smoke out of a Pepsi can, or some people had like a glass bowl, or like I had a metal bowl for a long time.
Yeah.
But nowadays, dude, there's first of all, the weed is insane. Like when I do smoke, maybe I'll take a little bit, or maybe I'll be, like I'll just take like a puff, dude. I'm on the fucking moon, dude.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to smoke blunts plural, to get high. So now
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's like it's like scientific. Yeah,
That's all you need now. That's
Insane, dude.
92% THC.
yeah.
Good shit.
Give me some of that Mexican brickweed, dude. Give me some of that swag.
I want that shit that's so dry when you get it that you don't have to grind it. You just crumble it up in your fingers and stick
Yeah.
it in the cone, and you're good.
And you
I
smoke
want-
the seeds, you smoke the sticks, you coughing. You need like a Gatorade to smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then when you're done smoking, your tongue and lungs are burnt for 2 days. Yeah.
Bro, I remember smoking out of a wooden pipe.
Yeah?
That's fucking stupid, dude. It was like shaped like a fucking totem pole.
Oh, no shit.
It was made out of wood though, and you're burning it with the lighter. It was so goddamn harsh.
That's funny. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you're getting the wood
So
smoke,
stupid.
too.
Oh yeah.
Getting diesel kush with a little bit of fucking pine and pressure.
Yeah, dude, that thing definitely had a lifespan.
Yeah, dude. That's wild.
But we're not here to talk about smoking weed out of a wooden pipe. We're here to talk about our fucking playlists, finally, because we almost let this episode get away from us, too.
No shit.
We're almost
yeah.
40 minutes in, bro.
Hey, I keep looking at the timer like, all right, we got to start talking about this.
Yeah, we got to get into this. So I don't know how you imagine this going, but I figure we're not going to be able to go over all 50 songs or whatever, but I wanted to, maybe I can start and just point out a couple of things, because this was a learning adventure for me. We learned a little bit about each other's musical tastes, and we found things that we liked and maybe disliked. So I want to talk about, I'll go first if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. All right, so for you guys that don't know, you don't listen to this podcast or whatever, you're just tuning in. Me and Dan, like a month ago, made playlists, and we posted them on Spotify, and I'll say now that I'm going to put the link in the description, but then I'm totally going to forget, and it won't be there. But if you search on Spotify for Dano's Get Hard playlist, you get Dano's, and then my playlist is called Songs to Make Your Ears Come. And we put some songs that we didn't really have, I guess, we didn't have a lot of rules. We're just like, let's just do 50 songs.
Yeah.
And I did, we'll talk about like the inception of the playlist. So let's just start there. Like, what did you want to put in your playlist? Like when you were like, okay, I got to get 50 songs. What am I going to put in this?
Yeah, so the way I ended up settling on it was I did songs that are, I would say, influential. So obviously some currently, like there's some stuff that I've just gotten into very recently, but some of the stuff on here is like the first, like the progenitors of hardcore and alternative music for me. The very, very first hardcore song I heard, the very first punk song I heard, all that shit. And songs that like changed the trajectory of what I'm into right now. You know what I mean? So mine isn't, these aren't necessarily my 50 favorite songs by any stretch of the imagination, but, and fuck, dude, I could have gone on. I could have 500 songs in there in an afternoon. But mine's more like an influential, like a step, a path for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
So I intentionally left off all hip hop stuff, just because I know that everybody is expecting me to just have a Wu-Tang playlist. Okay, but I'm actually into lots of different kinds of music, and what I did was I just wanted to showcase some of the other types of music. And I'm not a music guy, so I don't even know like genres really well. Like to me, there's like a couple of genres, like country, rock, pop, you know, hip hop or whatever,
Right.
R&B. I'm not very sophisticated when it comes to music. So to me, I just when I hear something that I like, I'll put it in a playlist. I have a bunch of playlists. And really a lot of these songs came off playlists that I make. Like during the winter and springtime, I'll make playlists that I can play when I'm riding my motorcycle.
Yeah.
So these all came off of those. I have like 3 or 4 playlists just that I put on for like long road trips and shit. Because I like to listen to music when I ride. I usually, I have a helmet that has the stereo system in it, which is awesome. A half helmet. But I always have one earbud in, so I can still hear the motorcycle and shit. But when I go to leave to meet up with people, I'm riding an hour before I see another human being. So I usually pop on a playlist and I'll just listen to it on the ride. So these songs are like motorcycle ride playlist songs that I liked over, from several different playlists.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So influential songs from Dan, Get Hard playlist, which I love that we kept the, some innuendo in our playlist titling.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to highlight is an unexpected hit. You had mentioned it a couple times before, but the first song on here is called Cool Arrows by Bullshit Detector.
Yeah, man.
And that song is awesome, but there's a couple of songs from Bullshit Detector on here, and they're really good. And I wanted to ask you, what kind of, is that punk music?
That's Oi.
That's Oi.
That's Oi. Yeah, so that's they're doing it a little bit different. It's like Oi and kind of like post-hardcore, almost pop punk kind of influences, because it's not. Now that you've listened to it, you understand what I say. Like there's still the gruff vocals, but the guitar, it's not all super heavy, and there's no breakdowns, and there's some singing in the background, and like it's super dynamic. That's what I like about it. But it's still hard. It's still street. It's
definitely reminded me of like it had more punky. So like comparatively, right? You listen to like Bullshit Detector, and you're like, this definitely isn't hardcore. I knew that for a fact because hardcore, from what I can gather, it's really less vocally driven and more like musically driven, where it's like the singer is almost secondary to the drums and to the guitar and all that shit, And then when I listen to something like that, it's like, well, the vocals are at the forefront and the music's kind of like in the background. I don't know.
That's one of my favorite things about hardcore. The vocals are an instrument also. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There are definitely big hardcore bands where their frontman is like the standout or celebrity or whatever, but that's just kind of music in general. When you think of like rock and roll, you think of like Santana, like he's the guitarist and he's like it's his band or whatever. There's none of that really in hardcore. The vocalist is as much an instrument as is the guitar and the drums, and the sound of the whole thing counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that really is, I guess, an epiphany that I had, like listening to some of the hardcore tracks here. It was like, I was like, the vocals are not the song. It's like all the things have equal parts almost,
Oh yeah, one of the things you'll hear from hardcore kids is talking about the breakdown or the riff or whatever. It's very few and far between when I think about it. You hear like, oh man, did you hear Mental Warfare's new album? The lyrics are great. Like the lyrics are great, but that's not usually what people are talking about. For one, because like, yeah, it's hard for you to understand the lyrics sometimes, just because of the nature of the music. But honestly, we've discussed this. I pay attention more to the music because I'm a musician and I'm not a front man and I'm not a lyricist and whatever else. I am interested in the lyrics because I like to sing along with the songs when I'm in person seeing the live music. But the lyrics for me, like I could just do without knowing what the lyrics are. Truthfully.
Is that like, is that like known in hardcore music? Like that's kind of a component of hardcore music. Is that that's the point of it, you know? Or is that something, a new observation that I just made? Like, is that what defines hardcore music?
No, I
Because it's
wouldn't
very
say-
unique to hardcore music. Like, no
Yeah.
other musical style that I can think of where the lyrics are kind of like on par with the music.
For sure. It's definitely hardcore is a very cool subculture because it is a self-sustaining subculture. You often hear that the best moshers make the best hardcore bands. You know what I mean? It's serious. It's like it's fed by the people who are into the music. You get into hardcore and you're like, "Fuck, I really like this. This resonates with me, and I really like the violence and the intensity and the whatever else. Whatever, it clicks with you somehow." Most people, your next thing is like, "How do I like? Could I make a band work? Could I be in a band?" The best hardcore bands are the ones that started with the dudes who got into it organically or whatever, really loved it, and then, hey, I want to throw my hat in the ring. But it's not like the lyrics in hardcore kind of also do separate it from everything else. Like, a lot of people hear the yelling and the breakdowns and the aggression, and they just automatically assume that all hardcore is negative or, you know, satanic or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, all hardcore is about beating people up. I could name you, I could show you probably 10 songs on this list that are about love. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, or brotherhood, or, you know, anything like that. Just being a hard worker, you know, and fucking being stuck in this shitty fucking world. Like, it's not all, the lyrics don't necessarily match what the lyrics are about sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or I'm sorry, the vocals don't match what the lyrics are about. There's plenty of songs like Have Heart on here. Some of the best vocals that you'll hear in music, never mind hardcore. Like, straight up, Pat Flynn is one of the top lyricists in music, in my opinion. It's not always, it's just kind of a stigma that gets attached to it. But I wouldn't say that that's like a criteria for a hardcore song. It's like, hey, the vocals are a little too loud, you need to turn down. It's like every other genre. The vocalist wants to be the loudest, the guitar wants to be the loudest, you know what I mean? But it doesn't, you can't, you can get by as a hardcore band without having super prolific or super, like, great fitting vocals. You know what I mean? There are bands out there that are huge where the vocals maybe don't super match or, you know, whatever, and they're huge. People love them for other reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could definitely, like, that's just one thing that stood out to me, like, going through. I was, like, trying to categorize what kind of music it was, and I'm like, I was like, oh, this sounds hardcore. Like, it has a sound to it, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's how kind of I identified with it. It was, they come in with the heavy drums, and then the guy starts singing, but there's a guitar over his voice, and I'm like, oh, that has to be a hardcore song.
Yeah. No, it's cool that you picked up on that. Honestly, dude, there's several subgenres of hardcore in here too. Like, just right off the rip, Pleased to Meet You by Trapped Under Ice, like, TUI is a completely different style band from Have Heart. They're both hardcore bands. They're both huge, massive, stratospheric hardcore bands. Very, very, very different sounds.
Yeah, this Bullshit Detector, though, you had a couple songs on here. Where's the other one?
Yeah, I've got Cool Arrows, and I think I have Number on there.
Get Number. That was the other one. I like both those songs, and I guess I'm an Oi guy now.
Fuck yeah,
Oi.
dude. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Do they wear suspenders? Is that those guys?
Boots and braces is a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You don't see them as much anymore. For those who aren't aware, Ryno is referring to it's a skinhead thing to wear red suspenders. There are people out there that still wear red suspenders, but there are more skinheads, especially in Boston, that you'll never see wear suspenders. You know what I mean?
Right, and when you say skinhead, you're not talking about the skinheads
I'm talking
that
about
people see in
I'm
movies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not talking about bonehead. I'm not talking about neo-Nazi racist shit. I'm talking talking about traditional.
Just to be abundantly clear here.
Yes, absolutely.
We do not condone
Fuck no.
or support
It is the
that
complete
type of skinhead.
complete opposite. It is fuck politics and everything to do with it, and fuck racist. Fuck
Is it an important distinction though? Because unless you're in that world or whatever, you would never know. I didn't know that until I talked to you about it.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody out there to
if you're like, yeah, I'm a skinhead, I go American History X. That's
Exactly.
what skinhead is
Yep,
to me.
for sure. And that's unfortunately what it's become. And you see a lot of, like the design that I had on the back of the hoodie I was wearing earlier, that the crucified skinhead, that comes from crucified. It has nothing to do with religion. It's based on crucified for the sins of like the neo-Nazi skinheads, because we ended up getting, I say we, it's not like I was a part of it, but traditional skinheads against racial prejudice, sharp, just got lumped in with all the fucking bonehead shit, with all the American History X and all the neo-Nazi and all that crazy shit. That is absolutely...
Is bonehead like a... Do they call themselves boneheads, or you call them boneheads because they're stupid for being racist?
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, they earned the name bonehead, and you hear a lot of other terms that they call themselves, Proud Boys and all that other shit, and those are all the scum of the fucking earth, and they all deserve to get the fucking shit beaten out of them. So please don't get it twisted. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. But that's what Ryno is referring to as far as the suspenders.
I look like a bonehead, but I'm not one.
That's the thing. Skinhead,
prematurely bald.
yeah, and even still, skinhead to this day, like, I buzz my head or whatever, but like I know skinheads with hair down to their ass cheeks. Like it doesn't, it's not what you think it is. And I promise, if you do any sort of research, take 10 minutes and go look into real skinhead, sharp, traditional, whatever, you'll find that it was started by black people, dude. Like literally Jamaicans in England making rock steady reggae type music. Like that's literally where it came from. So yeah, definitely don't get it twisted, and don't just start throwing out you're a racist when you start hearing the word skinhead, because there's plenty of us out here that are not. And you will get your shit rocked. So yeah, now that that's out of the fucking way.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, I'm not a skinhead. I'm just bald. Okay, but I choose to be bald. I could grow a full head of hair if I wanted to, but I just think this looks better than having nicely coiffed hair. So I choose to shave my head.
Okay, Mr.
I could
King.
grow a full head of hair if I really wanted to, but I just don't want to.
You won't.
I went prematurely bald. All right, let's just continue with your playlist for a little bit. Let me pick out a couple other ones, because there was definitely some familiar stuff in here that I really liked. You had Dead Kennedys, Minor Threat. Like, those were bands that I used to listen to for sure. Those were like in the canon, and those are punk, right? Punk bands, early punk bands.
Minor Threat is credited as one of the original hardcore bands. They're definitely a hardcore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like very, very early on, for sure.
Yeah, AFI, punk.
Oh, one of my favorite of all time. They also, at one point, they were a Bay Area hardcore band too. Like the song that I have on there, "He Who Laughs Last," that is one of the best hardcore songs ever written. And that's like the skater punk hardcore era.
Oh, that would be considered hardcore?
The early AFI, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
They get a little more emo and stuff, and it gets a little bit more punky and stuff.
Yeah, I remember, maybe it's just because I'm so familiar with them, like, definitely, they were like a punk band to me, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Sing the Sorrow, that album and stuff, that definitely got more punk. It was all after their singer, Davey Havok, had throat surgery and stuff. He had, like, cancer or whatever, so he couldn't do, like, the screaming kind of, the yelling that they did when they were older, so they kind of pivoted a little bit. And I fucking love the shit out of that too.
So yeah, when you're like, so I've always loved music, but I've never gotten like really into it, where you become like, you understand what's going on with the bands. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So when you were growing up and you were listening to music, how did you even get the information on these motherfuckers? Like, are you reading musical magazines? Are you going to fucking record? Like, what? How do you fucking even know this shit?
That's a cool question. No, I mean, it was CD inserts and stuff. Stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this was also when I really started getting into this stuff. It was like, there was internet, you know what I mean? There wasn't much on it or whatever, but, you know, Kazaa was around and stuff, so you could find videos and shit, and it was just, honestly, man, it's hard to remember. Like, yeah, I would get some magazines here and there, But a lot of the music I found was through Comcast On Demand, and my folks had that in their room, and you could go to the alternative section, and it would have metal and all sorts of shit. And I found like Hatebreed through that, a couple other bands and stuff that are on this list, Biohazard and whatever. But all that kind of stuff, like lyrics and all that other stuff, and like similar bands, you would get a CD, and then you open up and take the insert out, and you get all the lyrics, and then it would have the thank yous, and then it would have shout outs to other bands and blah blah blah, and then it just that was your roadmap type deal. And then you go back to the record store, the Strawberries or the Newberry or whatever, and in AFI's blah 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 album, they shouted out fucking Dead Kennedys or whatever, and then I don't know anything about them, and then you get a Dead Kennedys album, and then you read theirs, and it just sort of spawns from there. And then
Are you just like listening to music? You just like Are you listening to music while you're doing other things, or do you just put something on and you just sit there and you listen to it?
Both.
So you'll just put on like an album and like listen to an album and just like sit in a chair?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. Dude, and if I'm not doing that, I will go downstairs and put on my headphones or whatever and play along on my drum set or guitar or whatever with music and shit too. Yeah, dude, there's almost always music playing. Almost always.
I think that's the difference between a music lover and like a music liker. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I couldn't imagine a scenario. I always say, you see it in movies and stuff. Like in the 70s, they'll be like, I'm going upstairs and listening to records. They sit in a beanbag chair and they're just like, they just sit in a beanbag chair and listen to records. I've never done that in my entire life. I don't have that much of an appreciation for music. I wish I did.
When I was in high school, man, I would get a new CD and I would put it in my room, and I would literally listen to it on repeat again and again and again and again and do nothing but. And then once I had the songs memorized, I would try and figure them out on guitar.
Yeah, see, that's why I just didn't have that appreciation or drive to, like, that's why I can't play one goddamn instrument,
You could, though. You could.
I know, but no. Here's the thing. People always say that. But there's people like you that can sit down, you listen to music, and that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've never done that. Never have. I have a tin ear. I can't keep a beat on drums. You say anybody can do it because you can do it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with like skateboarders. Dudes that have skateboarded their whole life.
Yeah.
They took the time to learn, and they tripped and they smashed their heads and they fucking worked really hard at it. And now they're at a point where it's almost second nature.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, you could pick up a skateboard. No, I fucking cannot.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me. I'm too fucking old. Maybe when I was 15. But here's the missing thing is you really have to appreciate, and same thing with choppers, dude. You want to be good at building choppers, you actually have to love the fucking thing.
Yeah, right.
You can't fake that, the passion that goes into that. So, like, listening to music, just listening to it, like, you either have that appreciation and love for it or you don't. So when people say I can play an instrument, no, I fucking cannot. I will never play an instrument. I will never be able to skateboard. I just don't have that in me. There's some things that I do have that appreciation of, and I will get better, and I can do better, and I can't play music though. And I don't have the appreciation for it like you do.
Right. Yeah.
I've never sat and listened to music in my entire life. Just listened to it.
That's crazy to me, honestly. That I just thought everybody did that. Dude, oh my God, that's like my favorite thing in the fucking world to do other than see music live. Dude, come out here. I'll come out here after a really shitty day and roll a joint and put on anything and just literally sit here and stare at the ceiling and just listen to music. And just be literally head to toe goosebumps, dude. Like,
that's awesome.
I get goosebumps from listening to music all the fucking time, man. I get teary-eyed from listening to music. Like, yeah, I don't know. Music is... I saw recently, there's this really, really cool brand called 100 Series Studios. Sorry if I butchered that. It's on Instagram. Look it up. It's great. And he's done a bunch of podcasts to explain the thing behind the brand. But what he's doing is he's really involved in hardcore. Used to be in the Hammer Bros and shit. The guy who runs the brand has reached out to a bunch of different like big names in hardcore and other things, and gotten a little snippet of them like, what does music mean to you? What does hardcore mean to you? Whatever. And COA, I think it was COA, said something about, like, music has always been there for me. And that was like, yeah, fuck, man. Like, there's no, like, chapter in my life, you know, high school, middle school even. Like, dude, I used to put on, when I got my hands on the Iowa album from Slipknot, I used to have this little CD player down in my room. I lived in the basement of our house in Illinois, and I used to put that on, and I'd fall asleep to Slipknot album. Like, there's always been music. Like, there's always, every single chapter that I've been involved in, high school, college, military, even getting into choppers and everything else, music has always been a function or a driver of that chapter, for sure. So that, I don't know, music, dude, like, you have those conversations like, would you rather lose your eyes or your ears? You know what I mean? For me, honestly, that's a tough call. Like, if you told me I couldn't listen to music ever again, not a whole lot.
Well,
left
which one
around.
would you choose?
I really don't know, man. I really honestly don't know. Like, I can't see myself being able to just stop listening to music forever. No way.
Didn't
I
Beethoven go deaf or some shit?
I think Beethoven was deaf the entire time he was writing music or something. Yeah, he literally felt the shit in his feet. Yeah, for sure. And it's not like I write music really anymore, but just to be able to consume music, I think there's probably enough of a catalog of music that's in my head that, you know what I mean, I could recall songs, but
You still listen to it in your head.
Yeah.
You haven't memorized, right?
for sure, yeah, to an extent, I guess, you know what I mean, but I don't know, man, that sounds awful for me, and obviously so does going through life without my eyes, but yeah, I don't know, that's a tough one for me, like, genuinely.
Dude, take my ears. I don't give a fuck. It'd actually be nice not to be able to hear sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, unless it was like, you know, if there's some Neuralink type deal where I can be deaf and I can reap the benefits like you're saying and not have to hear shit and hear
Oh yeah,
people, but have
you're a
Neuralink
candidate for
playing in my
Neuralink.
brain. Yeah, get that in my brain so that it's playing in here and nobody else can hear it. That's fine. Get me
Yeah, there you go.
Spotify. I'll download the app in my brain right now. You know, but yeah, to be able to not be able to listen to any music ever again in my whole life, I don't know, man. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's not something you typically talk to people about. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's like, what kind of music do you like? But also, how do you listen to music? Because I had an inkling that you were probably that kind of guy that could just throw on some headphones and listen to music. And it was always my suspicion that, like, I don't know, I think people are good at things because they invest themselves into that thing, whatever it is, you know, like, if you want to be a fucking kick-ass piano player, you could do that, but you can't do that unless you actually care about it. That's the thing, is like, if you stop actually caring about whatever it is you're doing, whether it's your fucking job or, you know, whatever it is, then you can't fake that part of it. You'll never be great, you know?
Right.
Like, people that are really great at basketball, they fucking love basketball. They didn't want to be a baseball player, you know?
Yep.
But I
Yeah.
just don't have that I mean, I appreciate music and I love good music, but I just don't have that part of my body or mind or soul that's just like drawn to it in that way. Like,
Yeah.
I like having it on while I do stuff like drive or wrench or ride or, you know, in a house or like at a party or something or at a wedding. But you'll never catch me dancing. Are you a dancer, Dan?
Fuck no.
Fuck yeah, dude.
No. I had my moments when I was drinking. I'd get shit faced, and you could find me, you know, the wife and her friends or whatever would pull me into the local nightclub or something, and I'd do a little bit. But yeah, no, my rhythm is with drumsticks in my hand. I don't have any rhythm when it comes to moving my body.
Drumsticks are fucking nuts, dude. Dudes that are good at drumming, I think, is like the apex of like I think I could probably figure out how to play a flute or a cello or something. Drums are completely different. They're so weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. There's upsides and downsides. Like I feel like drums. I say this, but I do understand, like, if you just don't have rhythm or whatever, like, that's something to an extent. That's really
There's no
hard to
notes.
learn.
Do
Yeah,
you
there's
write
that.
drum stuff down? Like, can you say this is how you play it? Yeah.
Oh, that's where it gets funny, right? You're in band practice, you're the drummer, and the guitarist comes up and says, "Hey, on that part, instead of what you're doing, do but, do but, do but." There's a language, and it sounds ridiculous. Do but, do but, like
Yeah,
the
he's
way.
not like, oh, play the, smash your foot on that little gong thing in A minor. It's just
Yeah,
like a
no,
beat. It's like,
no. There are, like, obviously in certain genres and stuff, the drummer will tune their drums to a certain key so that it sounds cohesive with what the guitars and everything are doing. But I've never done any of that, especially in like punk and hardcore. Just hit the drums as hard as you can, as fast as you can, kind of deal. But because there are no notes, it's like, so basically what you're asking, instead of saying, hey, you were going A minor to C to G, you're going to hit snare, kick, floor tom. You know what I mean? The drum is the drum. You know what I mean? You have 9 things in front of you that you can hit or kick, and various different ways to make them make noise. So that's really all there is. You're hitting this cymbal, and then you know what I mean. It's all patterns too. Drums is all patterns. So if you can keep rhythm and you can memorize patterns, I'm completely self-taught. I don't know how to read sheet music. I can read tablature, which is completely different, but I can't read sheet music. When I learn a song on drums, like when I was in bands like DFK, Mike would write the song on like GarageBand or whatever software program he was using. He would write it with the drums and the bass and everything else except for the vocals, and then he would send it to me. He'd send me the song, and then he'd send me the drum part, and then from there, obviously, I would have creative freedom to, like, this is where I'm putting my fills and whatever else. But as far as like the cadences and everything else and just the patterns or whatever, like, I would just listen to it again and again and again and again, and then I would have it memorized because, again, there's no notes. So it's just, this is the pattern. I'm hitting kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare at this speed, and then I hit these cymbals at this, you know what I mean? It's just, you're just memorizing the sequence, realistically. And then when you're writing your own shit, if you've played enough, you're like, okay, the guitars are going at this speed, and this is kind of the feel of the riff, so this is the beat that needs to go with that, or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like drums, once you understand and can and keep and create a rhythm, I feel like drums are almost as easy as bass. Bass guitar is the easiest one, period, especially in hardcore. Literally, as long as your bass stays plugged in, you're good. That's it. And even still, like, people might not notice. Depending on what kind of music you're playing. So, yeah.
This show is dedicated to all the bass players out there.
I was a bass player in DFK before I became the drummer. I'm not talking shit.
They only have, like, what, 4 strings?
Yeah, 4 strings.
Not a lot of frets either.
You can do it. You can make bass more difficult than guitar, but to be in a punk or hardcore band, you do not have to be an expert bass player. Often, even if you're doing like if you're doing walking bass lines and shit in a punk or a hardcore song, you're almost gonna just completely.
I
lose
feel
it.
like I could probably play bass.
Yeah, bass is to make bass sound really good is tough for sure, but to just play bass in a punk band, that's how I started. Blink-182 and Green Day songs on bass. You there?
Yeah, I was just thinking about. I've played bass before. I had friends always into music and shit. Guitar was way too much for me. I did play piano when I was a kid.
If you
My
can play
grandmother
piano,
taught
you
me,
can play guitar.
but I fucking hated it.
I'm telling you, if you can play piano, you can play guitar.
I know, but I hated it. That's the thing. Is like,
Right.
she was like a piano teacher, so it was like all right. Me and my brother went up there and we'd fucking play stupid shit. I actually know how to read sheet music to this day.
Really?
Still.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got a little keyboard for my kids with like a learn how to play piano thing.
Yep.
And I can still like read it.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, let's get to a couple more. There's a couple more I wanted to highlight here. Dude, obviously Pantera. I was a huge Pantera fan. I got one of my first CDs was The Great Southern Trendkill.
Yeah, buddy.
I got that on the Columbia fucking 50 CDs for a penny or some shit.
Sick.
That's a fucking good album.
Yep.
And here's one, Mobb Deep, Eye for an
Yeah.
Eye. I think fucking that album, Infamous, is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Flawless.
Mobb Deep, absolutely fucking, like, dude, that, it's just so, it's like the epitome of East Coast gangster rap in the, like, mid-90s. It's just
Yep.
the best.
It's when that was the era. This is my favorite era of rap, where it's like the tail end of the boom bap shit, where you still have boom bap beats.
I fucking hate that shit, yeah.
But it's with, you know, they're putting the chorus or a like a classical song or something over it and mixing that with the boom bap, so you start to get that like real dirty I'm gonna rob you gangster feel. That's my shit, dude. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And that song's about eye for an eye, your beef is mine, we're in this together, son. Like, it's about, I got your fucking back. No matter what's going on, I got your back. That's cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That was a nice little hidden gem in all this, because I was really analyzing these songs, and then when ones came on that I knew, I was like, oh, I know this song. You know, that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say the one that really stuck out for me was the fucking
Cool
what we
Arrows.
were talking about, Bullshit Detector. I
Yeah.
really liked.
Yeah, really good.
And
Highly
definitely some other good ones on here. What was the other one that I really liked? Oh, actually, the Haywire song on here was fucking sick, dude.
Yes, dude.
That one was really good.
Yep. They are one band they're hitting all the right spots right now. They've got songs that are, I'm going to show up in your house and fucking beat the shit out of you in your sleep. And then they have songs like Summer Nights and all that. That's just so fucking good. But that song in particular is my favorite Haywire song. That song is straight up fucking hardcore, period.
Yeah.
Love it. Fucking love that song.
Oh, Cocksparer.
Yes, dude.
I don't know if I just really like the name of the band or if I really like that song, Watch Your
Dude.
Back.
They are OG Oi. That is like... As far
Oh,
as
that's another Oi song?
Yep, that's Cocksparer.
I'm an Oi guy.
They're godfathers of Oi, man. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm an Oi guy now.
The Bruisers is Oi. Lost Legion is Oi. So yeah, there's some good Oi on there. The Never Alone by Dropkick Murphys. That's like, that's one of the best songs ever fucking written, and I get to see.
I always loved the Dropkick Murphys, and there's some people I found out hate them.
Yeah.
What is that about? I thought they were just...
I don't know, man. It's hard to hate the Murphys. They're like, especially if you're from around here, dude. Like, they fucking did it, man. Like, all those guys.
Yeah.
Al Barr, the singer in Dropkick Murphys, is the frontman for the Bruisers. If you're into punk or oi or hardcore, especially if you're a skinhead, Al Barr is the guy.
Dude,
He's
when
in Dropkick Murphys, like, their lore, their backstory, their music, it's all fucking awesome, dude.
I first discovered them when I was a young man. I was at I want to say Warp Tour or something. I was at like one of those festivals, dude.
Sick.
And I didn't know who the fuck they were, but they came on stage and all these dudes with Dropkick Murphys banners and fucking kilts and weird, like, dude, these guys were crazy, dude. And they moved all the way up, dude, and it was like Warp Tour or something like that. It was like one of these huge music festivals.
Yeah.
And they just pushed through like hundreds of people to get right up to the stage, and they were so stoked. And I was like, I need to fucking figure out what those guys are into. You know what I mean? I was like, the guy, not the band so much, but the people that were listening to it was what drew me to that. I was like, dude, these guys got to be fucking kick ass if they got dudes riled up like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I hadn't seen these dudes walking around, dude. Like, they were waiting for them to come on.
Yeah, dude. It's just good fucking music, man. It's that Irish punk. It's cool. It's catchy. You know, their songs, they got pro-union songs and pro-military songs, and it's just good fucking music, man. And I get it, like the Irish thing, you know, I know some people see that as like gimmicky or whatever, and it's not. I'm not listening to Irish punk all day every day, but how do you hate the Dropkick Murphys, man? Shipping Up to Boston's a great fucking song. It is what it is. Like,
It's just fun.
especially the earlier
It's
shit.
fun, and it gets you amped.
Yeah.
I wish we had the rights so we could still have that as the intro music.
Mm.
The OG Lowlife listeners will know.
Hell yeah. Let's do
Back
some
when
of
they
your...
didn't care about copyright infringement.
Oh, shit. Let's do some of your playlists now.
Yeah.
You, my friend, are an enigmatic dude. I am, dude, this playlist was so sick, dude. Like,
Some weird shit on there.
some really cool shit. And you know what, dude? The main underlying takeaway I got from your playlist is you have a bunch of these songs are songs that I've heard and like that are in movies or commercials or whatever, or video games or something that I've heard before that I really like, and I didn't know the names of them. You know what I mean? Like How You Like Me Now and some of this other shit in there. Like a bunch of everybody knows a bunch of these songs. I'm trying to think of what the other one was. What was the other one? What You Gonna Do About It by Small Faces. That was one. There's a bunch of them that are like everybody has heard this shit, but I didn't know the name of it. So that was wicked cool, just going through and flipping through and going, oh yeah, I know this one, fuck yeah. But your playlist, so I know you're a big cinephile, you're a big movie guy. Would you say that your playlist is influenced by movies and shit like that? Because I feel like your playlist literally could be the soundtrack to any Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I know any of these songs from a movie,
Really?
but I do think that way because before I got a real job, I actually wanted to make movies for a living, and I wrote scripts and shit like that. And kind of the way that like I've said it before, is like my music is kind of like background to my life. Just like in a movie, it's like background to whatever's going on the screen. It's complementary.
Yeah.
So it's a good insight. It is kind of cinematic. You know, a lot of these songs are, could be in a movie.
Yeah, for sure. Your
Some of them
playlist
probably were.
Your playlist splits me 50-50. Half the songs make me want to like rob a bank or do some sort of like a heist or something like that, and the other half make me want to get on a chopper and ride into the sunset on Route 66.
Some of them are pretty cool chopper songs. Like if
Dude.
you're into just chilling and cruising around.
Dude, you got like Season of the Witch on here, and
That
you've
song
got like
kills.
you've got some like serious like stoner metal, doom metal stuff on here, and I had no idea that you were into that, and I've been waiting. Like Witch, dude, so sick. I've been waiting for us to have this conversation because now that I know you're into this kind of shit, I'm gonna start inundating you with similar music. I have entire
we gotta
playlists on
add
here,
to
dude.
these playlists.
For sure. These I think should be living documents. I think we should just keep adding
Yes.
to it. We should have one that you and I both have access to that we add to. We're gonna have one. I've been assembling songs that some of you have sent in and stuff. We're gonna have a listener playlist as well. But yeah, I definitely want to. I want to send you a couple of the playlists I have that are like bike rock specifically type shit
Yeah.
that you're gonna fucking love, dude. Straight up. And that usually is the kind of music, when you ask me if I'm gonna sit down and put on an album and just listen to music, it's usually that kind of stuff. I'll have a doobie and just sit there and literally let that shit take me to fucking Narnia in my head, dude. It's it's the fucking best feeling. So that kind of shit, obviously, dude. Motorhead, Ace of Spades. When I saw that, I was like, wow, can't believe I fucking missed that one.
I know that one I put on there. I was like, dude, everybody loves this song, but
It's so
there's
good.
so many good Motorhead songs. But that one for me was like, nostalgic. It was like Tony Hawk type shit.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. And that's another facet of how I got into this shit, was from BMX videos and Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Dave Mirra's Pro BMX and all the soundtracks to those games definitely had an effect. But dude, then you got like Link Ray. What was the other one on here? Hold on. Tony Joe White, like stuff like that, dude. The Heavy. No, not the Heavy. That was one of the ones that I had heard before. There was another one. Oh, Burnside, dude. R.L. Burnside. When I saw that on there, I was like,
so sick.
Yes, dude.
Dude, that dude, if you haven't heard him yet,
Oh,
his work is so, I want to say, like, because he's an old, like, blues guy,
right.
but he's so progressive. Like, his fucking shit is light years ahead of where he was, you know, in that point in time. It's some of the best music I've ever heard.
Yeah, straight up. R.L. Burnside, that's put on and listen to all day type shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, man, half of the shit that you have on here, I saw United States of Whatever. I love that song, too. That's a big-time OG.
That's a fun song.
Very fun song.
I like fun music.
I was like, yo, what up? And then, Heading South. I saw you had that on there. That, as far as, like, sad boy country goes, I'm not a
That one's a
Zach
good
Bryan
one.
fan. I love that song. That's one of those songs, straight up, I'll tell you right now, I have and will probably continue to get teary-eyed. That part in that song where he talks about the only thing they understand is a fucking dollar sign. And that song's all about a boy trying to make it in music.
Yeah.
And how people will put him down and whatever else and not listen. And that part when he said, all they understand is a fucking dollar sign, like, woo! That's some strong shit right there. And like I said, I'm not a Zach Bryan fan, but that's
I'm not either. Like, I listened to his other stuff, and I was like, gay.
I don't know, man. There's a couple songs, like Something in the Orange is okay, but his voice really
He's definitely talented. Yeah.
His voice doesn't really do a whole lot for me. And then I recently just heard that there's some beef between him and John Moreland, and I'm 100% team John Moreland. I don't know if you're aware of John Moreland. He's another artist. I don't remember exactly what the drama was, but they had done a song together on the new Zach Bryan album, and then something happened. Zach Bryan was a fucking dickhead about something and ended up taking John off the song, and John went on Instagram and whatever and was like, fuck him, I don't care, I don't want to be on his fucking song. You know, so it ended up being a big beef. But yeah, listen to John Moreland, fucking amazing.
See, that's an interesting thing, too, is like, you know, guys that, like, once you get into their personal life, you know, like Kanye West or fucking Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? It kind of ruins the music.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, Michael Jackson's a great example. It's like, he was the king of pop for how many decades? And then it's like, yeah, maybe he molested some kids.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no, he definitely molested some kids. Now people are just like, do you still listen to his music? He's a fucking pederast, you know?
Yeah, that's tough, man. I have a weird stance on that too, because like, Blood for Blood is a massive Boston hardcore band, and one of the original frontmen is a fucking scumbag and is doing time and whatever else for a bunch of shit. And I've had this conversation with hundreds of people. Like, yeah, I still listen to Blood for Blood, like, you know, every year and every once in a while type deal, but I definitely still listen to Blood for Blood, and I know that dude's a fucking piece of shit. And by listening to his music, do I think I'm supporting what he was doing? No. Especially because the band somewhat continued without him and wrote more music and whatever else, but yeah, it's tough, man. There's a lot of fucking scumbags in music, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up a Who fan, and John Entwistle is the best bassist in the entire world, in my opinion. And Pete Townshend's one of the best guitarists in all history, but Pete Townshend's a fucking pedophile piece of shit. And it's like, you know, what do you do with that? I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, how do you separate the man from the music? Or,
for sure.
You know, like fucking Woody Allen or Polanski, Roman Polanski. It's like,
right.
You can't watch fucking, you know, like Ninth Gate anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It does. It feels conflicting, you know.
For sure. It feels conflicting. It's in the same way with, like, listening to some outlaw country, David Allan Coe and whatever else. Like, I know for a fact and have heard the songs where they are racist pieces of shit, or they were back in the day. And it's like, fuck, man, he has a lot of really great songs that aren't. But it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's fucking tough, dude. It's fucking tough. That's a weird, and that's pervasive in every single genre, and you can't. There's not a person out there that can tell me that they absolutely don't listen to a single band that has a member in it that has done something fucked up like it.
Yeah. If you don't know, like I wouldn't know. I don't
Right.
like read the Rolling Stones or whatever the fuck, music magazines and shit. If you're not plugged in, you wouldn't even know.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But same thing in the chopper community. There's dudes that do fucked up shit, and I write them off pretty fucking quick.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Maybe I'm a fucking hypocrite, but yeah, I don't know. That is definitely I'm the same way. If I hear one thing and then it's backed up by any sort of
Credible,
evidence, then yeah, 100% you're fucking dead. You're like cut off, don't give a fuck, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
No second chances either.
Trip. Yeah, thanks for the guilt trip. Jeez, now I don't think about that. Maybe I don't listen to Blood for Blood anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just an
I'm
interesting.
just kidding. I'm still gonna listen to Blood for Blood.
What did the guy do?
Rapey shit.
Oh, rapey shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Scummy fucking piece of shit, musician shit. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, that's in every genre.
Yeah.
It's funny that this came up because yesterday, long story short, I went and took a bunch of stuff out of my grandmother's house, and I ended up inheriting her record collection. So I went.
Oh,
through
no
that.
shit.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. There's original 1972 Jim Croce albums in there, and like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. She's got a Bette Midler album in there, and then one of them that I thought was hilarious was it's the best of Bill Cosby.
Ooh.
It's like, I didn't know he made music, for one.
So that's another thing. Are you going to listen to that album?
I'm certain that I won't like it anyways, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that, like, Bill Cosby's not going to be my next favorite songwriter, you know what I mean? But I feel like I gotta see what it's about. I gotta put it on and listen to it.
Yeah.
I've never heard Bill Cosby songs. I didn't know he made any music. I showed it to my wife and she thought it was someone else. Like, she didn't connect the dots because I'd never heard that Bill Cosby did any music.
Have you ever heard Joe Pesci's album?
No, but I know it exists. I haven't listened to it, but I have heard that it exists.
Oh my god, he raps.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Typing that into Spotify as we speak. I wonder what it
Bro,
comes up.
it's so bad.
Oh
my god, it's so
the
bad.
first thing that comes up is Wise Guy by Joe
I'm
Pesci.
cringing right now just thinking about it. It's been years since I've heard it.
Vincent LaGuardia Gambini. Yo Cousin Vinny is this third song on this list. Oh, I can't wait
Dude,
to listen to this. Dude.
So bad.
Dude, there's... Hold on. Did I read that right?
You got to watch the music video he made.
Dude, 11.4 thousand monthly listeners.
Wow.
Monthly listeners on Joe Pesci on Spotify.
As a joke. We should make a joke album.
That's a lot of fucking people who are listening to a joke album every month. Like, he might be
really
making
bad.
some money off that. He's probably getting like $100 a month off that. That's a joke.
Yeah, he probably needs it. He's a retired actor.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god. You have to watch the video, the music video he made though.
I will.
Just Joe Pesci, hip hop, music video. Ugh.
I will definitely look into that. But yeah, back to your thing. I saw you had I'm Scum by Idols. Fucking love that song. Absolutely love that song.
Yeah, that one was a new one. I thought I'd throw it in there. But I've been listening to a lot of them. They're fucking really good, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I like
Have you-
British. I like the British music, British singers and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Have you heard
Are they
Car
British?
Crash yet? Yeah. London.
Okay.
The song Car Crash is my favorite by them.
Yep.
I fucking
Banger.
love that song. What's the lyric? What does he say? Racist prick on the right side, something something on the left. So I put my foot on overdrive, close my eyes and press. He's basically saying fuck
Yeah,
both
lyrically
sides.
they're really cool. Like
Oh.
they have really good shit.
Yeah.
One thing I can't stand is British rappers though.
Oh yeah.
I don't like them. I don't. They're like,
Oh, put that beans on toast.
I don't like it. Rap is American, guys. Step off. You guys, I'll give you the punk and the rock and roll. You guys are great at that, but stay out of the rap, dude.
Yeah.
You can't even own guns. You ain't smoking shit, dick.
Tingo, scop, 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 or whatever that fucking...
Oh, dude, it's so bad.
I love that shit. I think it's funny. However...
Yeah, it's funny to listen to.
Have you listened to Kneecap from Ireland? Oh, I'm shocked. I'm going to send you some Kneecap. For one, they're a genuine worldwide political movement, and it's so fucking rad. But for two, their music's super sick. They do, like, half their songs are in traditional Gaelic. Like, it's so fucking, so sick. They're like a super mega Northern Ireland protest band. And they do, it's like, I think it's 3 dudes, and it's all hip-hop, and it's super fucking good music.
Okay.
But it's all like, fuck England and everything else. It's fucking rad.
That's cool.
Check that out. But yeah, as far as like any other European or English rap, I'm not aware of anything else, so I can't really attest to it.
They like that techno shit out there in Europe.
You know what, man? I got a spot for some. I can do some electronic every once in a while. I don't hate on all of it.
I used to fucking. That's when it was really getting big. Was when I was like, ecstasy hit the streets, bro, and it was like all house music and fucking this and that type of shit. Like we used to listen to all that fucking shit.
Yeah, dude. I remember finding out about dubstep because of Skrillex, and then finding out that Skrillex, the dude, Sonny Moore, was the frontman of a pretty well known like screamo band back in the day called From First to Last, and I used to be into that band. So finding that out was kind of cool, and that probably was why I gave dubstep more of a shot than I probably otherwise would have. But I got into dubstep a little bit. I remember like
Dubstep's all right.
like certain.
I never really liked listening to it just like on its own, but I think it makes great like cinematic. Like if you have like a trailer or action scene or something, throwing some dubstep. Yeah.
Yep. That shit from Doom, the Doom video game. The guy Mick Gordon did the entire soundtrack for it. If I need to get something done like quickly, and it's gonna suck to do, I put that soundtrack on. Like I've put it on a couple times while I'm working on building bikes or whatever. It's just straight up like fucking ignorant ass dubstep. But for whatever reason, it's like if I gotta, I don't know, working out or running or any sort of training or any sort of shit like that, where it's like I really don't want to do this, but I need to get it done right now, and it's gonna be tough. I put that on, and I can fucking do anything.
Yeah.
So there's a time and place for everything, man. Like I don't know. I listen to a lot of different shit, and it changes on the hour. There's a place for everything.
Yeah. It's very mood related, like what I listen to. I'll listen to pop if I'm in a really good mood.
Yeah. Well,
but I am happy to say that I've never listened to a Taylor Swift song, and I don't think I ever will, even by accident.
I've heard some, but not on my radar. I've never voluntarily listened to a Taylor Swift song. But the pop thing brings me to we try to talk about like what are your current obsessions or whatever, new shit that you found. I know it's not new to the world, but I recently stumbled upon this band, and I'm almost scared to admit this because I don't really know what the perception is, but I've been super into this band called White Reaper lately, and it is like straight up like Beatles inspired Europop type music, and it's very like it's all in the major key. It's all very like uplifting style pop-esque music, and you know, there's some distorted guitars and stuff in there to keep me interested or whatever, but I can't get enough of it, man. I fucking love it.
White Reapers?
White Reaper. Yep. My two favorite songs by them are Pages and Daisies. So fucking good.
Sounds really familiar.
The way I described it, I was talking to Colin, shout out Boiled Gatorade, the other day. The way I described it to him was, I really, really like this music, but I feel like I'm not supposed to, in a way. Like this kind of music wasn't made for me to listen to, kind of deal. I don't know how else to describe it, but dude, I can't get enough of it. It's so fucking good. It's crazy. Me and my son listened to that one song, Daisies, on repeat the entire way home from Worcester yesterday. It's just, I don't know, man. It's feel good shit. Like I don't know.
We should have Colin on too, because that dude
Yeah.
he knows his music, dude.
Yeah, he's in several bands. He really, really,
Yeah.
really knows music for sure.
He really knows it. Like when you talk to him, like he must know that I'm not like a music guy when he talks to me, because I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean,
What the fuck are
he
you
gets
talking about?
he gets that look out of me all the time because he'll get into gear.
He knows
and
his
stuff.
shit,
That's
dude.
one thing, like, even still to this day with drums, I've been playing drums since I was 14 years old, playing guitar since I was 14 years old. Like, I never got the flavor of autism where I get super into like this brand and this snare sounds better than this one and that and a brass versus a maple and blah blah blah. I just want to hit stuff and make sounds and whatever. But he's like super into gear and pedals and guitars and all that stuff. So talking to him,
he used to make guitars, didn't he?
I think so. Like he rebuilds them and shit and puts new pickups and stuff in them all the time and refurbs them and does a super fucking killer job doing it. He's super crazy into it. So he gets the cross-eyed drooling look out of me too, because I'm like, dude, you're out of my
Yeah,
depth.
because he's deep in that shit. He knows his shit.
For sure. He really, really, really. You want to talk about somebody who really cares about music? That dude really cares about
Yep.
music.
Yeah, I think he's the one that told me that Dropkick Murphys suck.
Oh, really? I know Loctite always. He always.
I'm gonna
ragged
have
on
to take his word for it.
Yeah, Loctite always ragged on him because they played for the Queen, and yeah, that is fucking weird and fucked up or
Oh,
whatever.
they played for the Queen. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but hey, I mean, if I'm in a band and I'm well enough known that somebody asks if I want to play for the Queen of England, I'm probably gonna take the opportunity. You know what I mean? I don't know. Never be in that position, so we'll never know.
They probably gave him a treasure chest full of ruples or something from some country they stole it from. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, one of the. I saw a map the other day of all the places that England has invaded, and there's like 9 very small countries where they haven't invaded.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're still imperialistic, dude. Like, Canada pays taxes to the king.
Yeah, I think
Australia pays taxes to the king. Those are big ass countries, dude.
Yep.
We would have been in the same boat had we not been like, fuck this shit. You taxing a tea?
Yeah, now we pay taxes to our own fucked up version of their government. That worked out fucking great.
Yeah, I'd love not to pay any taxes anymore. That'd be awesome.
Fuck's sake.
I-
Yeah, dude. I have found myself many times just throwing your playlist on and just letting it run. I still think I'm staggered by the fact that you have Gigi Allen on here. I did not expect
Really?
that. Yeah, I really did not expect Gigi Allen to have ever been on your radar.
Okay.
Definitely not. And that's
I went out of my way to put stuff on here that people wouldn't expect me to. That's why I didn't do any hip hop, because everybody knows I'm a hip hop guy.
yeah.
But I like a lot of stuff, so I did go out of my way just to be like, hey, this is the other stuff that I do listen to.
Yeah, and I was super pumped to hear that because I mean you and I have listened to hip hop and stuff, and like I know where you're at on hip hop. You know what I mean? So to hear all that other stuff, like I had no idea that you even were aware of half of that shit. You know what I mean? So that's cool. That's really fucking cool.
What do you want to do? So we got a bunch of suggestions from a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
And some people said combine them. Some people said to do additional playlists. Some people, I think, and this is just my opinion, tell me what you think. I think we should keep our 2 playlists separate and add to them.
I agree.
Right? Because then we can talk about it. If it's all one big thing, it's nice to know, like, oh, this is what Dan picked, this is what Ryno picked,
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, and then just kind of see like, because that's something that I struggled with because I listen to so many different genres or whatever. I wanted to pick 50 super influential songs, and I originally like I had Iron Lion Zion by Bob Marley on there, and like it just felt when I listened back to my own playlist, it was like it just seemed super random that I had one random Bob Marley song in the middle of primarily hardcore. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of stick to here, and like yeah, I threw the Onyx song in there because it's Onyx and Biohazard, so there's a hardcore element to that song. And then
Right, and I love fucking Onyx, dude.
Oh, Onyx that's exactly
Sticky Fingers, his fucking solo shit's sick as shit too.
His voice is so fucking rad, dude.
So
did you ever end up listening to their that new song, Black Skinhead?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so sick. It's short. They each have one verse. It's super fucking good. I love that shit. I love that they're still making music. Sticky Fingers is as good today as he ever was back then.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dude, I was a huge fan.
Yeah. What I would like to do with these playlists, our individual playlists, is be able to then now start adding the other stuff. I want to be able to go add, like, these are the hip-hop songs.
Do you want to do another 50 for this Friday?
Yeah, sure.
For this episode?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm totally down with that because I've come up with so many songs that, like, Blood for Blood being one of them. I should have put a Blood for Blood song on there because they're one of my.
It's cool
bands.
to do it in blocks of 50 too, because then we could just be like, all right, 50, like country songs, 50 fucking this kind of songs, or fucking you can just skip down to the block of that music,
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I would love to do that because
all right.
Yeah, there's plenty of country songs and plenty of rap songs that I'd like to have.
I would just say we won't even do it by genre. We just do like another 50 songs to the playlist.
Cool.
For Friday, so I can put it in the episode description so people can check it out.
Sick. Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this was fun. And it was good too to like to not like force myself to listen to different stuff, because people send me like different stuff every once in a while, but this was a really cool way to do it, to be like, oh, this is someone I really respect. I respect their musical taste, and you're like, I curated this. You kind of curated it for me, so it's a little bit of everything, and it was stuff that was meaningful. So it was like fun to listen to and try to like, and the thing that surprised me the most was how much I actually knew already. I thought it was going to be some wild ass shit that I never heard of before.
Right.
And there was some of that, which I'm an Oi guy now.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go buy you a ticket to the show in July. Now that I know that.
Is it an Oi show?
Yeah. Yeah, you're coming with me.
It better not be the same weekend as the Wu-Tang concert.
What is that, the 11th or something, right?
Yeah.
I think this one is the following Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in Boston. It's at the Middle East in Cambridge.
Middle East? Okay, yeah, I know the spot.
You want to come to this one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
Get my red suspenders ready. My plaid pants. My Doc Martens.
Yeah. I've got Docs.
Cosplay, dude.
Yeah, you can miss me with all that other stuff. I'm not saying that there's not people who... There are still people out there running the Oxbloods and the cuffed bleached jeans and the Harringtons and all that other shit. And that's fucking rad, cool, like, keep it alive, I love it. But that's not going to be me. I'm just going to dress the way I dress. And
I think it's so weird. Like, those people, they have to dress like that all the time, right? They don't just do it for the concert, right?
You'd hope so. You'd certainly hope so.
I really hope so.
Yeah, you definitely... I don't know that for... None of the people that I pal around with on a regular basis dress like that. And I pal around with lots of...
Because that's on par with people dressing a certain way for, like, Coachella. That's how lame that is.
Or I'm going to a bike show today, so I'm going to wear my leather. That I only wear when I go to a bike show. That's... You're cosplaying. That is literally cosplay. Like, straight up. What is the difference? They dress up as a fluffy or furry or whatever it's called to go to the Radisson and talk about video games. What's the difference?
Yeah.
So.
Do not do that.
No.
Don't dress up to go to stuff.
Just be the same person everywhere you go. Like, how hard is
Unless
that?
you're going to, like, a fancy thing. Then you can LARP as a respectable member of society. Wear a button-up shirt. Go to your sister's wedding. Be respectable. That's a respect thing.
For sure. Absolutely.
But if you put on Oxblood fucking Doc Martens and red suspenders and plaid pants and cuff them up to go to an Oi show, you are a fucking poser.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Unless you dress like that all the time.
Right.
Then,
and there are people that do. God bless you. Nope, not for me. Never have been.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very comfortable.
it ain't about comfort, man. I'm not saying that. For me, part of the lifestyle is an eye on your appearance. Like, I don't want to look like a fucking bum. You know what I mean? So if you catch me out at a show, like, I might look cleaner than if you caught me. I just got home from work, but I don't have like an outfit that I wear to shows. You know what I mean? Like, I'll wear what I'm wearing right now to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. That stuff's weird.
I don't want to. I'm saying this as a compliment, but like, you're always dirty when I see you.
Yeah.
Like, because you work on stuff. You're coming from work. You just got off of work, or we're working on something.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dan fresh out of a shower, and you don't shower like we go camping and shit. Like, you're not showering.
No. Why? Why?
Yeah.
I don't want to be clean if I'm out in the fucking woods, dude. Like, I don't. Some people are like, "Oh, that's gross," but like, I don't. Obviously, if I fucking shit my pants or fucking smell like shit, like, I'm gonna take care of that. But if I'm just like, I don't mind being musty if I'm staying in the woods for 3 days with my fucking homies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's just funny. Sometimes you realize things as you talk, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Dan like dressed to the nines. Actually, we went to that. You did look pretty fucking fresh. We went to that funeral that when you had the eye patch, you were looking good and you were smelling good.
That's
the eye patch was so dope, dude. I was hoping that eye would never heal.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, that was awesome. That fucking giant piece of metal shard stuck in my eyeball. It was my right eye, I think. And I went to urgent care finally to get it out. I don't go to the doctor or whatever.
That's such a Dan move, dude.
It lasted.
You had that eye patch
long.
on for like a week.
Dude, it was like I had that thing on for a week or 2 weeks. And I finally go in, and the guy tried to use. They had this fancy machine that they used to suck it out, and he's like, "It's not charged, like, so it doesn't work right now." He's like, "I'm down to try something. If you're down to try something," he said something like, "You." He said, "You look like the kind of person that would be okay with, not normal measures or whatever." And I was like, "What do you have in mind?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go get a needle, a syringe, and I'm gonna pluck the thing out of your eyeball with the needle." And I was like, "Okay." And I sat there and fucking.
You're the doctor.
Yeah, and I was like, you're the pro, man. I trust you more than I trust myself because I'll
You
take
did it
it
with a
out
syringe though.
Yeah, he literally took a syringe and I could feel it going tink, 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 and then it came out. It was fucking gross.
Oh fuck, dude. So was it embedded, or was it just like, yeah?
Yeah, I had a straight up splinter. It was like right on the outside of the tear duct, basically. So it would rub on the tear duct, and my eye was constantly watering. If I didn't have the eye patch on, it looked like I was bawling my eyes out from my right eye all the time. I couldn't see. That was bad. And I was wearing glasses and a face shield when that happened. So don't fucking.
Oh, you were?
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Not for nothing. Almost every time that I actually have something get in my eye to the point where I have to have it like drilled out or whatever is when I'm wearing safety glasses and or a fucking mask. It bounces off your fucking chest or whatever and you know what I mean? Like it gets in there somehow.
Comes in from an angle.
Yeah.
Bounces around off your face and the mask.
My safety squints have never let me down.
Same.
That's definitely not true, but for the most part, they don't let me down.
Keeps the big chunks out.
For sure. Yeah.
I might just start wearing fake lashes. Keep even more debris out.
Yeah, there you go. Just start closing your eyes when you're welding and grinding. Fuck it.
I do close my eyes sometimes when I'm grinding. Like if I'm moving around something and then it just starts spitting the the sparks right in my face, I just close my eyes for a second.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If I'm not like trying to like shape a part and make it look a certain way, if I'm just trying to cut a part in half, yeah, I'll fucking.
Oh yeah. I look away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a huge chop saw. It's like a huge. I think it's a 14-inch cutoff wheel. And when I cut with that shit, sparks are flying everywhere. I just look away.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Sometimes the metal gets launched.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I'm looking away, so it's not going to hit me in my beautiful face.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I can't shut down this episode until I give a big ol' shout out. I'm not going to name any names, but I said it last week. Someone was going to believe the trench coat story.
Oh my god.
And somebody did.
Yep.
And I love that so much. It made my day, and I had to fuck with you. I'm sorry, but it was just too good an opportunity. But I really appreciate that, and it made my fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
And she came back and was like, "You motherfucker, you, you fucking liar, you."
Yep.
So that was fun.
One more thing before we shut down, I just thought of. We should put out shows that are coming up. Obviously, Party at the Pen, that's coming up in a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever. We'll be out there. And then the Deadbeat Hill Climb Show. What was that, January? I always fucking do that.
June 18th.
June 18th, Wednesday of Bike Week. Hill Climb Show, put on by Deadbeat Customs. Boot Boy will be up there. And then the next day, are we clear to announce the next thing? Or
I
no?
don't think so yet.
Okay, all right. Well, there's something going on Thursday, so stay tuned. If you're coming up to Bike Week, there's another really cool thing happening on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday Bike Week, there's definitely something awesome going on, and we just can't reveal the details yet, but we will fucking be there. And it's going to be sick.
Hell yeah. So if you were considering coming out here for Reviver and you can make it work a few weeks later or whatever, and you want to make that your time out here just because we don't know when we're going to be doing it, if we do it, come on out, man. We'll be out there.
Yeah. Definitely come out to Laconia this year, guys. Mm-hmm. We're taking it back. My mission in life is to take Laconia back from the fucking man, dude. From big motorcycle companies coming in, this war on fun. I want to bring back the hotties in the wet t-shirt contest. I want to bring back the burnout pits. I want to bring back the choppers.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to happen if you avoid it. Yep. So Laconia Takeover 2025, get up there and do chopper shit, dude. Be cool. Be rowdy.
If you want a little ego boost or whatever, even if you've got it's maybe not like a fucking full-blown chopper, but you've done some custom shit to it, bring it to Laconia and watch all these fucking 50-something-year-old men riding the same black street glide just straight up come on your bike and think you're the coolest fucking thing in town. Like, straight up. You show up with a
not
a
really
chopper.
Selling this, Dan.
Dude. Like,
if you want a bunch of boomers to straight up come on your bike,
straight up, dude.
Just get anything that you can't get at a Harley Davidson dealership. If you have just some Deadbeat custom grips or something, these guys are just going to drop trow, start jorking it, and unload all over your seat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. So definitely come out.
It's a good time, and there's good people. We're all going to be up there. Definitely don't miss the hill climb. That's the social event of the season.
It's so much fun. Such a cool event. Deadbeat puts on a great show. They have a nice little area tucked away. You can be a part, or you can be around in the bike show area and still see the hill climb shit going on. They have the Stunty Boys doing their thing, which is always rad. It's a BYOB event. It's super sick. Really cool.
Yep.
And then after those, if there's hopefully will be Reviver in there somewhere. And then the next big one is Deadbeat Retreat in the end of August. So we will definitely be at that. Make that part of your plans. I'm really, really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Deadbeat's always a good time, but this year I'm blowing the motherfucking top off the place. We're doing a belly flop competition with a cash prize.
Hell fucking yeah.
So don't get that beach body on yet. We want some big fat bellies doing big old splooshers into this motherfucker, dude.
Fuck yeah. The more you
I'm going to gain some weight. I'm going to gain weight for this belly flop competition.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Can't fucking wait. We'll obviously be doing a big ride out and all that shit, so keep that on your list.
Yep. All right. Let's shut her down, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Until next week, Lowlives, check out our playlist. Hopefully, we're going to get this done by Friday. 50 brand new songs. Get in the garage. Get in trouble. Have fun. Never stop chopping. Deadbeat Customs. Steve over at Deadbeat Customs is about grassroots motorcycle riders who take it upon themselves to build and customize their bike. They offer parts for all Harley-Davidson models and also custom parts for choppers, bobbers, trackers, and cafe racers. When it comes to building a custom motorcycle, they carry the best brands available. Go visit their brick and mortar store in Tewksbury, Mass, or at deadbeatcustoms.com. Remember,
Enter Lowlife at checkout and save some loot. Stay Strong Co. Sean Luke has been sent down from the heavens to bless us lowlifes with the greatest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. Sweet heat baby Jesus in the white pants heralds a message from God himself. This hot sauce is for your food. Keep it off your butthole. The shits, and the hotter than hellfire Lowlife chopper sauce. Go to staystrongco.org today and grab yourself the holy trinity of hot sauces. Oxford Co. Choppers. Chris is the original bad boy from Oxford, Connecticut. From frame restoration and repair to handlebars and hardtails. Hard parts for hard men. His hardtails are expertly TIG welded and installed in-house. Made of USA-made steel, cast axle plates, he is your man for the hardest shit to hit the East Coast since Hurricane Bob. Find him on Instagram at oxfordco.choppers. Steel City Blacksmithing. Josh specializes in handcrafted steel work right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Anything from custom motorcycle parts to hammers and tomahawks. Don't get it twisted. If it can be twisted, he's twisting it. Check him out at steelcityblacksmithing.com today. Beck Built Fab. Dustin is the plug for excess chopper parts. That's why we call him the Metric Man. Drum disc brakes, mid controls, hand shifters, foot clutch, modded worm gears, intakes, and more. He can do any fabrication job, weld repair, upholstery, or even maintenance. Check him out at beckbuiltfab.com.